How's it going, friends? Reckless Yuki here. Hope you guys are doing fantastic, and welcome to my video review of these, which are a pair of Kingston HyperX Cloud cores. And I have to say, I'm making the statement right now at the beginning of the video that these are the best gaming headset that you could buy for the money. And I've owned a lot of headphones, a lot of headsets over the years. As you can see on the back table there, those are some of my headsets that I own. I have a pair of headphones right here, which I just reviewed. I have other headphones that I prefer over here, and these are actually amazing for only being $60, sometimes $70, depending on where you get them. And I'm just very ecstatic about these because for the most part, I don't like closed back headphones, and because of this, I'll prefer to use my other open back headphones over these. But for $60, you just can't beat this price and the quality that is given with this product. If you are on a budget and you can't afford anything more than $60, I would say that you get these and never worry about getting another pair of headphones ever again, because you're not going to need anything more than these ever. Now, the only thing that you might want is like an open back design in the future, but these are absolutely amazing. Like, I'm still just like talking about these without even saying anything worthwhile in this review so far. But I have to say that that's just how ecstatic I am about these headphones. Now, as far as the mic, I don't know what the quality mic is. We're going to figure that out in this video, but the headphones itself are amazing. And for the most part, though, like the size of the headphones, so let's get into actually just talking about the headphones specifically now. My head is a big head. Like, I have a big head, and these are just barely big enough to fit my head. If I put these on with these all the way stretched out, it's just the perfect size. And as far as the clamping force of these, they're not too tight, not too loose. These are just right. So if you have a smaller head than me, then you won't have any issues with these. But if you have a larger head than me, then you might want to look elsewhere, because these aren't necessarily going to fit you comfortably. And if you're curious about my head, I wear about 11 3/4 inch like hat is the head size that I have. So if your head is bigger than that, look elsewhere. But if it's smaller, then these are something that I would highly recommend. As far as the drivers that are within these have 53mm drivers that are able to do a frequency response of 15 hertz all the way up to 25 kilohertz. So, I mean, that's a very large range of response. And if that's something you're really interested, where you could really kind of break down the frequency response, then more power to you. I'm not one of those people. That's just kind of a marketing tool, in my opinion. What I care about is how good they sound for the things that I like listening to. And these just sound amazing. As far as the impedance of these, though, these are 60 ohm impedance headphones. So if you're trying to use this with an iPhone directly from just an iPhone outlet, these might be a little bit too much for the iPhone to sufficiently power. Something better would be like the Creative Sound Blaster or the Creative Sound Blaster H5s, because these have a 32 ohm impedance, where these are 60. So it's up to you whether or not you really want these for that. But if you're using these to game with on your PC or even on your little mix amp device, whatever have you, these are absolutely ideal. And I just, once again, love these. And the construction of these is very solid. There's nothing necessarily cheap. The top here is this nice soft pleather. The ear cups have this nice soft pleather. It has this nice red stitching on it. It has HyperX on the sides, and on the sides here it has an H and an X. So it has that gamer-esque feel. The mic is detachable, so if you don't want to have a mic on you when you just use these out and about, you can. If you're not worried about having this like big red X on the side. The cord, unfortunately, isn't detachable, so that's one gripe I have with these. But for $60, that's something that I could easily overlook. And as far as the length of the cable is about a solid, like, little more than 6 feet, and it's able to detach at the middle here. So if you're just using this with like your phone, or if you just plug this at the bottom of your controller, you can. And this has one of those 4-prong things. It has the tip, sleeve, or tip, ring, and sleeve. So these can be used with your headphone or with your iOS device, so that you can use the mic and stereo output for the headphones. And then if you go further down the cord, basically it splits off to a headphone and microphone 3.5mm jack. So something for you if you are needing of something like that. So yeah, I mean, like, the cord is braided so it doesn't tangle up on you. It's not as nice as some other braidings that I've had, but it kind of feels a little bit stiff, but it's not something that's too bad. Once again, this is $60, so it's little things that I can easily overlook just because of the fact that these sound amazing for $60. The audio response of these are really good. I would say if you are using these for listening to music, be kind of mindful that you don't want to put too much bass on. You don't want to color the headphones itself too much, because I feel that due to the fact that it's closed back, it offers a little bit too much reverberations. So it's not able to sound very crisp if you try to do too much with the headphones. But if you just let the audio play naturally without coloring up too much, then these will sound amazing. That's what I've been doing. That's what I've done to really appreciate the quality of these headphones. So anyways, let's get into a microphone test where I'll test out the microphone of this device. So for this comparison, I'll be using the microphone that comes attached to the Cloud Cores versus my $200+ Rode lavalier attached to a Zoom H1. And I won't be doctoring up the audio in any way. This will just be a raw recording. At the most, I might just adjust the gains to make them equal so that you could actually hear the difference between the mic qualities. So anyways, moving on to the Zoom H1 right now. This is what the Zoom H1 sounds like. This is what basically my voice sounds like when it's undoctored with this really small lavalier right around the throat region. And I have to say that I love this lavalier. It is a fantastic lavalier. It's what I always use whenever I do talking head videos where I'm away from this mic here in front of me right now. So anyways, let's move on to the Core X, or the Cloud Core microphone. All right, so now we move to the Cloud Core microphone. This is what this sounds like connected to the Zoom H1. And you guys are basically going to be the judge of whether or not you think the quality of this is good compared to this lavalier that was on my shirt. So for the most part, this is what you can expect from the Core or the Cloud Cores. And really, you know, this isn't the ideal situation connected to the Zoom H1. So when you connect this to something like an audio product or an audio device, that could affect the sound quality that you might hear. But this is what the raw recording of the microphone itself is capable of. All right, so now this is the portion of the video where I basically state my 2 cents of whether or not I think these are worth the MSRP. And like I said throughout the whole video, these are just amazing for $60. $60, and you get these. Like, I don't know how I'm not excited about these. And if you're watching this video, I don't know how you cannot be excited about these. But for $60, these are the most amazing headset I have ever used. I'm going to put that claim on these right now. Now, would these overtake my Philips Fidelio X2s that I use every day? No, these sound better than these, but I think that's not necessarily due to any fault of this besides the design of it. I personally don't like closed back headphones. The little saying that I came up with, if it's closed back, send it back. If it's open back, that's where it's at. And that's something that I truly believe. Because when I was doing my tests and listening to these and listening to the other headphones that I own and trying to get a good feel for just where this falls short or where this excels, I feel that all the limitations of this headphone was really based on the closed back design. If it was an open back design, then it will basically open up that sound stage and it will give a nice airiness to it that I prefer when it comes to my reference style headphones. And it would sound better because with the closed back design, basically you have the driver right against your ear. And when the sound hits, it bounces against your ear, then goes away on an open back design. But on a closed back, it kind of stays there and bounces a little bit. That kind of muddies up the quality. And I would think that if this was an open back, it wouldn't have that issue, and it'll actually sound almost just as good as my audio or my Fidelio X2s, my $300 headphones that I prefer using. So that is a big statement. Now, I'm not an audiophile. I'm an audio enthusiast. I can't break down frequency ranges by just sound, but I know what I like and what I don't like, and I like these, all right? These aren't as nice as the, Philips, but these are, I think, well worth the price of $60. And even if you spend twice as much on a pair of headphones from someone like Astro or Turtle Beach, I don't think they're going to surpass the quality of this at all. I would say that these are the best headphones that you could possibly buy. And, really kudos to Kingston for making these and not charging an arm and a leg for these, actually giving you a really good price, a really good budget price for a product that exceeds budget expectations. So anyways, that's my video review of these. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And, I really stand by these headphones as being the best for the money and even the best that you could buy in general, because you're not going to exceed the quality of these without really spending a good amount. So that's my opinions. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll talk to you guys again in the next video, all right? Bye-bye.